Backstage at Carnegie Hall and the Royal Albert Hall, fingers trace passages through empty air that no audience will ever witness. Heart rates spike. Breathing tightens. What happens now decides everything. And what elite pianists actually do in these invisible minutes before a performance is nothing like what you've been told. Fluorescent lights flicker above, washing out color, sharpening every edge. The air is thick, equal parts dust, adrenaline, and the ghost of every concert that came before. Somewhere beyond the wall, the audience is already a living presence. Thousands of breaths held, programs rustling, a cough echoing up into the rafters. But here, time stretches. Every second is heavy. A pianist paces in tight circles, shoulders hunched, hands flexing and curling in an endless silent rehearsal. Fingers hover over invisible keys, tracing passages that will never be heard, replaying the opening bars in the air again and again, until muscle memory blurs into obsession. The score sits unopened on a battered chair, but the music is already alive, unspooling inside the mind, note by note, phrase by phrase, louder than any applause. Heartbeats thump faster, sweat beads at the hairline, breaths come shallow and quick. The body reacts as if hunted, not celebrated, nerves firing, skin prickling, stomach tightening. Every small sound, an usher's radio, a distant door slam, lands like a warning shot. This is not the glamorous backstage of myth. It is an arena, stripped bare, where survival means holding your focus as the pressure builds. The pianist's world shrinks to two hands and a single idea: do not let go. Because in these invisible minutes, before the first note, the real performance has already begun. But that is not the hardest part. The mind still has to survive what comes next. Survival is the real mission in these final minutes. This is not about warming up fingers or reciting scales. It is about holding steady when the mind wants to run, when adrenaline floods every cell, and the body's ancient alarm bells scream for escape. The myth of the serene genius, untouched by nerves or doubt, collapses here. Even the greatest pianists describe a battle raging inside, heart pounding, breath shallow, hands trembling with the memory of every past mistake. The pressure is not just imagined. Psychologists track a spike in cognitive load right before a pianist steps on stage, higher than during practice, higher than during rehearsal. The mind is forced to juggle 1,000 details: the opening phrase, the shape of the hall, the weight of the keys, the possibility of a memory slip that could unravel everything. One anonymous concert pianist put it bluntly: it's like walking a tightrope in the dark. You feel every step could be the one where you fall. This is the hidden reality behind the curtain. The fear of forgetting, of blanking out, of hands betraying the mind. These are not rare disasters, but constant threats. Every small ritual, every breath, every silent rehearsal is a shield against chaos. The real performance is already underway, and the only way through is to find control in the storm. Because once the door opens and the light hits, there is no turning back. And yet, the greatest challenge is not the music, or the audience, or even the memory. It is learning how to keep your mind from breaking under the weight of expectation. What happens next is even more important. Lang closes his eyes in a fluorescent-lit hallway. In his mind, the Steinway's keys are already under his hands, the first phrase unfolding in perfect time. This is not superstition. It's survival, mental programming, not just memory. Yuja Wang stands nearby, lips barely moving, tracing the shape of a run with invisible fingers. She is not playing. She is hearing the music inside her head, every harmony and cadence mapped out as if she is already on stage. Top pianists do not rely on hope. They use silent rehearsal, 5 minutes of audiation, hearing the piece from start to finish with no sound at all. Every phrase is rehearsed in the mind's ear. Every tricky leap chunked into checkpoints, a cadence here, a harmonic anchor there. These mental landmarks become lifelines. If memory stutters, the brain has a map to follow home. This is how they guard against blackout, how they lock in phrasing and flow before a single note is heard. The brain rehearses so the body can obey. But the mind's control is only half the battle. The body, flooded with adrenaline, still has to follow. Vladimir Horowitz once confessed that his greatest fear was not the music or the audience. It was his own hands betraying him under pressure. In those final minutes, the body becomes both weapon and liability. Heart rate surges, sometimes by 20 or 30 beats per minute, as adrenaline floods the system. Sweat prickles at the fingertips. Muscles threaten to lock or shake, even for legends. But elite pianists do not leave this to chance. They fight back with precision. Instead of running the whole piece, they zero in on the danger zones, 4 bars at a time, looping the trickiest passage 8, 10, even 12 times, always at half speed. This is not busy work. It is micro practice proven to lock in accuracy and calm the nerves without burning energy. The myth of endless backstage run-throughs collapses here. The real pros save their hands, working in slow motion, correcting the smallest mistake until the muscle memory is bulletproof. A conservatory coach drills it in. Never trust a full run-through on show day. Only trust what you can repeat perfectly in fragments. Meanwhile, hands are stretched and warmed, sometimes with nothing but a gentle flex, sometimes with a ritual as old as Rachmaninoff's own super slow practice, though the specifics are lost to time. Every movement is measured, every breath deliberate. The body is trained to obey, even when panic tries to take over. But even perfect hands and nerves of steel cannot control what is coming next. The unpredictable world outside the practice room, where the instrument itself might turn against you. Every concert piano is its own beast. The action weight, the force needed to press a key, can swing by 15 grams from one Steinway to the next. For a pianist, that is the difference between gliding and fighting for every note. In the final minutes before the walk to stage, a technician hovers close, adjusting springs, voicing hammers, measuring weight changes in grams. Yuja Wang once described it as making the piano obey. Some demand lighter keys for speed, others want more resistance for control. There is no standard. Even legends like Horowitz insisted on custom setups, chasing the exact feel that kept their hands steady under fire. But the ritual is not just mechanical. As the technician fine-tunes, the pianist runs a silent checklist. Are the octaves even? Is the sustain too long for this hall? Will the soft pedal respond or betray? Fingers ghost over keys, testing, recalibrating, mapping the instrument's quirks into muscle memory. Breath slows, 3 seconds in, 7 out, a protocol as old as stage fright itself. Some close their eyes, picturing the walk, the first note, the sound blooming in the hall. The checklist finishes, hands warm, mind clear, piano tamed. The world outside is finally aligned. Now there is nothing left but the test itself. One more breath, the door opens, and then everything changes. Beyond it, the stage is a flood of light and expectation. The pianist stands alone, every muscle primed, the mind suspended between terror and focus. One step forward, and there is no retreat. The walk from the wings to the bench is short, 10, maybe 20 paces, but it feels endless. Each footfall is a countdown, nerves firing, the world shrinking to the distance between hand and key. The audience is now a force, not a rumor. Every eye, every breath, every silence waiting to be broken. This is the irreversible moment. The brain knows what happens in the next second cannot be undone. There is no edit, no second chance, only the truth of the first note. Memory, training, and ritual collapse into a single point of commitment. The bench creaks, fingers hover. For an instant, time holds its breath. Then the music begins, and everything that came before disappears. The scale of pressure has exploded. A single concert at Carnegie Hall once meant facing nearly 3,000 listeners. Now a single performance can reach millions, sometimes billions, through streaming platforms and viral clips. In this new world, the spotlight never fades. Pianists like Ludovico Einaudi step onto stage knowing that every note might echo across continents, replayed endlessly online. Hans Zimmer, whose scores shape the sound of modern cinema, describes the same surge of adrenaline before live shows as he does in the film studio, where deadlines and global premieres leave no room for error. The stakes are no longer confined to a single hall or a single night. One shaky entrance, one memory slip, can become an instant headline or a meme, dissected by strangers in every time zone. The myth of the solitary genius dissolves. Performance is survival, not just for the music, but for reputation on a global scale. And in this relentless, streaming era spotlight, the ability to hold focus, to adapt, to master the invisible minutes before the first note is what separates the good from the legendary. Every night, thousands of pianists face the same invisible gauntlet, alone before a single note is heard. In a world where even milliseconds of doubt can be fatal, the true test is control under pressure. The performance does not begin on stage. It begins in the mind.